power rarely comes from doing more. It comes from doing less perfectly. Watch what happens when a striker touches the ball a handful of times and wrecks an entire match. Erling Haaland is not busy. He is precise. He is not everywhere. He is exactly where he needs to be. Football loves the flourish, but history favors the efficient. The people who strip things down, focus on the essentials, and repeat them with ruthless consistency. Haaland's game is a case study. Few touches, few dribbles, few wasted motions. Only arrivals, only impact. His record-breaking Premier League season told the story. Not of endless highlight reels, but of a simple pattern. Arrive at the right second. Strike once. Collect the return. This is not minimalism for style. It's minimalism as weapon. Simplify the job. Shorten the chain. Multiply the outcome. Armies learned this long before stadiums did. Rome broke battle into roles. Shields here. Spears there. Engineers behind the line. Each soldier did a narrow task. Together, the formation crushed chaos with order. Industries copied the logic. The assembly line cut bloated work into slivers. Specialists repeated one motion. Costs fell. Quality rose. Output exploded. Haaland moves like a factory with a soul. One system, several inputs, one lethal output. He spends most of a match waiting. And that word is misleading. He is measuring. Angles, distances, defender blinks, midfielder's body shape, half a yard of daylight. He runs less than others in a sprinting sense. But every run has a purpose. Near post, back post, penalty spot. He rehearses those arrivals like a craftsman sharpens a blade. Over and over, until the edge is invisible and deadly. When the ball arrives, he doesn't decorate it. He ends it. Inside of the foot, laces through the seam, across the keeper. Low, early, unsavable. It looks simple because it is, and because it was built that way. Simplicity is expensive up front. It takes choices out of your hands. It removes favorite tricks. It tells you, do this one thing, do it now. That restraint is hard, but the payoff is consistency. And consistency beats brilliance in the long run. City's system supercharges that focus. Creators occupy the half spaces. Fullbacks compress the lanes. Wingers stretch the back line like elastic. All so the specialist can arrive to a pre-cut opening. The pass is a final screw twisting into place. The finish is the seal. Notice the discipline between touches. No arguing with referees. No wandering to the wing to chase the game. He protects his energy like a banker guards capital. He spends it in a single burst, at the compound interest of timing. This is the heart of efficiency. Reduce transitions, reduce decisions, reduce friction, increase speed, increase accuracy, increase repeatability. Pilots use checklists for this reason. Surgeons rely on standardized setups for this reason. Every handoff, every choice, every switch taxes the system. So the elite build routes with fewer turns. History nods again. Medieval guilds grew mastery through narrow craft. The goldsmith learned the melt and the pour. The joiner learned the joint. Repetition forgave no flaw. Excellence lived in the millimeter. Haaland lives in that millimeter. Half a step behind the line. Half a glance across the defender's shoulder. He isn't reinventing the game. He is compressing it. Removing the ornamental to expose the engine. There's a myth that efficiency is cold, that it lacks artistry. But watch his shoulder feint free a channel. Watch the patience to hold a run until a line breaks. That's taste. That's judgment. That's years of pattern recognition absorbed into nerve and muscle. And the numbers reward it. Fewer touches per goal than most of his peers. Fewer chances required to punish. It is not luck. It is the arithmetic of preparation. Efficiency also means leaving work for others. That takes ego control. He doesn't drop into midfield to prove he can knit play. He trusts the architect behind him. He stays in the role that turns passes into points. He understands that the last action is the one that pays. Specialization is not smallness. It is force directed through a nozzle. It is the jet after the compressor. It is all the energy in the system, focused to a point. When he doesn't score, the pattern remains. He keeps the same runs. He holds the same zones. Because the system wins with averages, not anecdotes. Because the craft stays steady while the dice roll. There's risk, of course. Specialists can be starved when supply breaks. So the elite specialist builds contingencies. Micro variations of the same skill. Front post to back post. Shoulder to across the body. Left foot to right foot. Patterns change shape, not purpose. Watch his first step. It lands before the defender knows they should move. That's not speed alone. That's anticipation bought by study. That's film. That's habit. That's the quiet work of removing uncertainty before the whistle blows. Strip the fame away and you see a template. Define the job in one sentence. Design your day around that sentence. Cut what doesn't help. Practice the smallest moments until you stop thinking. Let the system carry you to the moment that matters. Then act cleanly and reset. In a noisy era, his game is a whisper with a blade. He chooses less, he does more. Not by accident, by design. By design becomes habit. Habit becomes instinct. Instinct becomes speed. Watch the first 5 meters. They tell the story. He isn't sprinting aimlessly. He's loading a spring. One glance over the shoulder. One step into the blind spot. One pause to freeze a defender. Then the blade slides through. He doesn't roam for the sake of touching the ball. He stalks the 1 square yard that breaks a line. He would rather have 5 touches in gold than 50 in sand. Look at the channel between centre-back and full-back. That is his seam. He visits it like a thief with a key. Late enough to be unseen. Early enough to be first. He turns the box into coordinates. Near post, back post. Cut across a face. Hold on the shoulder. Every run has a label in his head. Every step has a purpose. It feels cold, but it's clarity. What do I do before the pass is played? What do I do when it arrives? What do I do after it leaves? He writes those answers on repeat. He trims every flourish. No extra touch if one will do. No extra step if he can glide. He lives near the offside line. He breathes with it. 1 foot ahead is a trap. Half a foot behind is freedom. You can see the metronome in his body. Little bounces to stay loose. Little opens of the hips to disguise a cut. He shows one path, he takes the other. He doesn't wrestle both centre-backs. He ticks the scale on one. Pin, spin, gone. The shot is another exercise in economy. Head down, ankle locked. Inside if the door is open. Laces if the door must break. No hero angles, no museum pieces, for their own sake. Target, strike, reset. When the chance is lost, he does not chase the loss. He closes the tab, he opens the next. This is not poetry, it's procedure. In an era that celebrates playmakers and painters, he is closer to a striker from an older manual. Think of the longbowman. Not beautiful in motion to the untrained eye. Lethal in output when the volley starts. He embraces boredom as a weapon. Minutes of nothing, a sudden flash, goal. That discipline costs. You have to ignore applause that loves touches. You have to ignore critics who count passes. He counts positions. He counts gaps. He counts the heartbeat of a defender who glances twice. His training mirrors that math. Short bursts, quick loads, angles, timings, finishes. Repeat until the movement flies under thought. Recovery is part of the job, not an afterthought. Fuel, sleep, rhythm, systems that squeeze more from less. He treats rest like a drill. He treats calm like a set piece. The team around him is an engine built for this tip. Wingers stretch. Midfielders draw and feed. Fullbacks invert and pull markers out of the lane. The whole shape funnels toward the strike point. He doesn't steal the light from them. He completes their geometry. He is the arrow that gives the bow meaning. It is specialization without apology. He could drop and spray passes. He chooses not to. Because every detour dulls the blade he keeps sharp. In business, factories learned this a century ago. Assembly lines traded generalists for stations. One task per hand. Quality through repetition. Speed through scope. He is a human assembly line for goals. Not dehumanized, refined. His study is quiet. Patterns of centre-backs who step. Full-backs who sleep at the back post. Keepers who guess near when cutters go far. He doesn't need 100 notes. He needs the one that changes the chord. He carries that into the game like a password. On the pitch, patience is pressure. Defenders hate waiting. They want duels. They want noise. He gives them silence. He gives them puzzles. Hold the centre back on the inside shoulder. Drag him a yard. Create a window for the cross behind him. That yard is the whole plan. When the cross comes flat, he doesn't overrun. He decelerates into space. Control is not only speed up, it's speed down. He uses his frame as a lever. Lean. Step across. Seal the lane. He isn't wrestling for dominance. He's engineering position. Look at his one-touch finishes. They look simple. That's the trap. Simple is the summit of difficult. It takes 1,000 rehearsals to trust one swing. Every celebration is short. Every reset is immediate. There is no feast mid-battle. That mindset protects him when storms hit. A dry spell does not rewrite the job. He does not go digging in midfield to feel alive. He sharpens the same edge, knowing the next cut will come. Specialization does not mean narrow vision. It means deep mastery of a narrow slice, the slice that bends the scoreline. He is honest about trade-offs. Fewer touches means less rhythm. Less rhythm means you build your own beat. His beat is the last touch of the move. Teammates learn him. They lift their heads and know where he will be. Trust is another form of efficiency. It saves questions. It saves seconds. He pays that trust back with runs that honor the pass. He doesn't break shape to chase highlights. He breaks lines to make outcomes. You can watch his game at 2 speeds. Live, it feels inevitable. In slow motion, it feels edited. Cuts at right angles. Runs tucked just under the offside line. Contact made at the precise instant a defender commits weight. History will count the numbers, but the method deserves its own line. In an age of maximalism, he is a case study in restraint. He is not less ambitious. He is more exact. The more exact you get, the fewer moves you need. He keeps the main thing the main thing. He pulls weeds from that garden daily. He doesn't push his brand into every lane. He pushes the ball into the only one that matters. It sounds austere. It's liberating. When you accept your role, you can fill it completely. He shows that mastery is subtraction done well. Cut the noise, cut the frills, cut the waste. What remains is sharper than talent alone. What remains cuts through the mess and reaches the net. This is not a plea for everyone to play one way. It's a map for finding your one way. Define your edge. Build a life that polishes it. Use it when it counts. He is living proof that the shortest path is still a path. Not a shortcut, a choice. Short is not easy. Short is decisive. History knows this. Explorers map oceans, but merchants build routes. Generalists open doors. Specialists furnish the room. Roman legions had roles. Scouts ranged wide. Pikes held the line. Archers waited, patient and cruel. One arrow, one arc, outcome. Medieval guilds did the same. Apprentice, journeyman, master. Years spent perfecting one joint, one cut, no wasted motion. Industry doubled down. The line changed the world. Not by going faster, by removing everything that slowed it. One worker, one task, done to the grain. Lean thinkers codified it. Inventory is cost, movement is waste. Quality is clarity. Do fewer things. Do them cleaner. Do them when it matters. Football is not a factory, but the clock is unforgiving. Space is a currency. You have 90 minutes of noise, and a handful of seconds that decide it. He lives in those seconds, a specialist in consequence. Watch the tells he reads. A fullback takes a heavy touch. A midfielder opens his hips. A centre-back glances at the ball. Micro signals, micro windows, trigger, go. The run before the run. The angle that hides him. The shoulder that shades the line. He is present without being seen. Absent until decisive. Touch count, low. Threat level, constant. This is economy at work. He does not tax his legs chasing shadows. He does not bargain with fatigue. He keeps his account full for the sprint that cashes out. Some will scoff. They want art for art's sake. Volleys from 30 yards. Dribbles that loop and tease. History keeps the ledger. Winners write in results. Artists win too, but not with the same spine. He comes from a modern pipeline. Scouts tracked outputs. Analysts profiled movement. Coaches shaped timing windows. Physios tuned recovery cycles. Yet the system is not the point. Plenty ride the conveyor,